Now and forever, we bring IT to life.
Welcome everyone to this Connect with Remedy webinar. Today we have our guests, Vyom Labs, during this Remedy 9 upgrade coffee break, and we have our guests, Prashant and Vishal, that will take us through their Remedy 9 upgrade experiences. Prashant?
Thanks a lot, Greg. First of all, thank you, BMC, very much for giving us an opportunity to share our experiences on Remedy 9. My quick intro, I'm currently EVP at Vyom Labs, heading BMC, BSM, and Infrastructure Transformation Business Unit. Prior to that, I was at IBM and also at BMC for 5 years, headed their IT and Global Services Delivery Unit for BMC. So I'm quite, it's like the extended BMC family here. I'm really glad to be part of this webinar. Now I'm going to hand over to Vishal for his intro, and then we'll go through agenda. Okay, Vishal?
Thank you, Prashant. So I carry 11 plus years of experience working with Remedy domain, and I've been practicing the BMC Remedy ITSM since version 5.x. So I've done a deep dive and seen the various versions of Remedy throughout the life cycle and the enrichment that it has added with the business value that it brings through the knowledge. I would want to share it as a Vyom Labs platform with BMC Engage and cover the overall experience and learnings that are there with Remedy 9 upgrade processes.
Okay, great, Vishal. So our agenda today is essentially for Remedy 9 upgrade. A little background about this project, Vyom Labs, and our relationship with BMC. Then case studies, essentially we'll show some summary slide and walk you through each case study. Key learnings, what we learned from these case studies, and then we'll open for Q&A. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Just to give you a little background, Vyom Labs has been working with BMC R&D for beta testing of Remedy upgrade since Remedy version 7. Vyom Labs initiated this feasibility pilot for BMC 9 upgrade involving 4 different global customers. The findings and key learnings are presented in this session, followed by Q&A. Currently, we are upgrading customers from previous version to version 9 globally in Europe, Middle East, and Americas. These key learnings have been very useful for our current upgrade projects and ongoing projects for the same. Let's move on to the next slide. So essentially,
The case studies that
we'll talk about a summary of the pre-upgrade summary, and then we'll walk into the each cases. The case studies, we took 4 cases concerning their different variety of previous versions, the environments, the DB and Windows versions. And you will see that the improvement in terms of reconciliation is tremendous. Installer runtime and total upgrade time is also given here. What we'll go through is Vishal will walk you through each case and talk about how we handle the cases and the experiences and the learnings we got from each one. So over to you, Vishal.
Thanks, Prashant. So the first case study that we are going to talk about is for platform upgrade, AR platform upgrade, where there could be a set of organizations, customers, where they are using the platform and they want to get the benefit of Remedy 9 as a platform, since it is more powerful with 100% Java platform, and it adds several other features to the platform. So they want to take the advantage of the platform. So for those customers, this could be a very unique business case, and our case study project involved the upgrade of the platform, where it was a cost IT, a bespoke application on ARS platform, and it was upgraded to Remedy 9. So let me walk you through the case study and the scope that was involved as a part of the upgrade. So it was a bespoke application, cost IT, which was integrated with ITSM, for incident management, and it involved certain customizations to incident management. The platform was 7604, which was upgraded to Remedy 9 by using the duplicated method for an upgrade process, where it had a database size of 1.5 GB with a user base of 14. So the stage environment was upgraded, where the architecture was virtualized single server, and the upgrade was performed for the platform. So while doing this upgrade, we share our experiences for the pre-upgrade process and the post-upgrade process that we carry as a part of the implementation project. So during the pre-upgrade process, one of the key learnings is to set up your environment variables to avoid any performance issues, such as the Java heap size should be set as per the BMC recommendations for the web servers. So this is pretty much the standards that needs to be followed, and it is a pre-check that you should have for your pre-upgrade processes, so that you could see improvements for the performance of launch forms when they are being launched through the mid-tier. With this key learning, during the post-upgrade process, our key learnings included using the 9.0 tools which are provided with BMC Remedy 9 release, and it expedites the upgrade process overall and the upgrade activities such as reconciliation. So you have to use the Developer Studio 9.0 to take a snapshot. So if you are doing a platform upgrade from an earlier version to Remedy 9, then you must install Remedy Developer Studio 9 and take a snapshot of your previous version and use the snapshot for comparing during the reconciliation activities. So if you use the previous version of 9.0 Developer Studio, then the Developer Studio will not be able to compare the objects between the reference server and the upgrade server. So this is a key learning, and you should consider this while you are upgrading the process and accessing the Developer Studio for taking the snapshots. So this is a powerful utility which has been introduced with Remedy 9 and is available with the Developer Studio. By selecting the server options, you can select the feature of taking a snapshot of your AR server objects. With this key learning, let us move on to our next case study, where we'll be discussing this case study which was implemented for one of the large IT service provider in Europe. So this project was implemented where it involved complex and highly customized environment. So the scope was, it was a 8.1 version, and it had to be upgraded to Remedy 9, which involved the platform upgrade as well as the ITSM suite upgrade, which involved all the ITSM stack components, and the database size was 7.5 GB with a user base of 139 users. So this was a virtualized single server environment and involved complex and highly customized workflows. So with the experience of implementing this upgrade project, there were key learnings during the pre-upgrade process, where there have been enhancements to the BMC pre-checker utility, and with this enhancement, the pre-checker utility now helps you to identify the records which may cause any issues to your upgrade process. For example, the RBE rule form had 2 rows with duplicate content, which was highlighted with the pre-checker utility. And that's the beauty of Remedy 9 and the tools that it brings in, which adds value and improves the efficiency and effectiveness for your upgrade process. So with these data which was reported by pre-checker utility, the corrective actions was taken based on the values that were returned by the RBE rule form. So this was one of our key learnings during the pre-upgrade process. Post-upgrade, when you are upgrading you have upgraded your systems to Remedy 9, you need to align the user interface if you have used any custom fields in your earlier versions. So for example, if you have any custom fields that were a part of your incident management console or incident ticket view, or let's say change ticket view or problem ticket view, then these custom fields are out of the best practices view. So post upgrade, you need to align these so that they are in the best practices view section. With this user interface alignment, also a new Developer Studio utility has been introduced, which is a 3-way reconciliation that expedites your upgrade time. So earlier, developers might understand this, where the larger effort was involved for upgrading the workflow objects from an earlier version to the latest version with the powerful reconciliation utility, which gives you a three-way report. It benefits you for achieving this complex activity within a day. If it had been a manual process, it would have approximately taken 4 weeks, but with the reconciliation utility, the time has been reduced drastically for this activity. And with the current process, for this particular case study, we were able to achieve the reconciliations within a day. So it was a superb landmark that was achieved during this reconciliation process for this project. With this key learning, we have following the best practices and backing up the AI transformations, where it involved the post-upgrade. You need to rebuild the out-of-the-box customized AI transformations if you have any out-of-the-box custom transformations that you have been backing up during the process. So post-upgrade, you need to rebuild those transformations. Moving on to our next element for the post-upgrade process is post-upgrade. You will see that the archive functionality has been introduced. So you will see 2 archive forms if you have created any archive form for the out-of-the-box. So with BMC Remedy 9 release, BMC has introduced archiving enhancements for the ITSM forms, and it gives you an archiving management console where you can schedule the archiving, or you can activate or deactivate the archiving of the forms, where it is tightly coupled with the main forms and the backend forms, such as incident management. It takes the archive of HPD help desk forms and its related forms through association, where HPD work log or intermediate forms, which are indirect or direct associations, can be backed up by using this powerful archiving functionality. So if you have upgraded your systems, you might see 2 forms in case you have created an archive form in your earlier release. So the old archive form will be referred as for the historical data, and the new archive forms will be referred for the data that is going to be processed post-upgrade. Let's move on to our next case study, where this upgrade was performed for the telecom company in Americas. So it involved a medium customization, but it had a server group virtual environment. So we'll share our experiences for upgrading in a server group environment, and the version which was upgraded was 7604 with a user base of 10,000 plus users and a database size of 72 GB. So the method which was applied for upgrade was a duplicated method, and with the medium size customization environment, we were able to upgrade Remedy 9 with our key learnings that we'll be sharing in the next slide. The Remedy instance needs to be of the exact match. This is one of the pre-checks that BMC recommends, and also with the Vyom Labs value framework, we were able to gauge the prerequisites for this particular project. Many a times the customers are not maintaining the inventory for the minor versions, such as patches of BMC Remedy application. So in this particular project, the patch was not available with the customer as their software inventory. So BMC gives a provision where you can download the exact patch that you have on your production existing older version to match it for your staging server, which will be upgraded to Remedy 9. So we were able to download the patch 002 for ITSM from the BMC side and match it with the exact production server patches. So this is one of the prerequisites and the key learning for this particular case study. Post-upgrade processes involved new BMC Remedy deployment application to be used for migrating the customizations. So this deployment application, it provided a single method for easy promotion of the best practices customizations by consuming less time for the implementation. So this utility is available with Developer Studio, and you can use Remedy deployment application to take a extract of your definitions and your data from a development environment to your QA servers, or from your test beds to your production servers. So while you are performing this activity, if there are any issues during the development and the testing cycle of the project, the package will be sent back to the developers and they can rework. So it also provides you the ability to call the analyzer module to validate that the package is meeting the required standards. And based on these package standards, it provides a checksum to the package, and the package meets the requirements, and it can be encapsulated and unencapsulated from a single zip file. So this is the power of Remedy 9, where it improves the migration time of your definition and your data from your development environment to your QA, and from your QA to the production environment. Let's move on to our next case study, where it involved a high volume of customization as compared to the complexity of the customizations. So this was a project which involved, which was implemented for a larger IT outsourcer, and it had the high volume of customizations. So it was an ITSM upgrade where AR system platform and ITSM suite was upgraded. So it was an upgrade for a high volume where the platform and the ITSM upgrade was performed from a version 8.1 to 9.0 by adopting the duplicated method for the upgrade with a user base of 100 plus users and a database size of 7.29 GB. It was also a server group environment which was virtualized. And let us understand the next slide, which talks about the pre-upgrade process key learnings. So for this project, the pre-checker utility helped not only by reporting the unique records, but also the null value records in a single report. For example, the ITSM intermediate forms, it contained the null value for the field ID 179 in the previous version that were reported during this pre-checker process of upgrade. These reported data helped to take corrective actions for the intermediate forms, and then it processed the pre-checker utility to the next investigation. Another key learning for the pre-upgrade process involved obtaining the customization document prior to the upgrade, where customer, since it was a high volume of customization and customer did not have the exact documentation for those customizations, so following the Vyom Labs value framework and BMC recommendations, we engaged with the customer at the early stages, and we were able to get the documentation for the customizations and their functionalities. And with the power of Remedy 9, we were able to generate the BMC documentation for the workflows as standard workflows, and their help text content help us to understand the functionality involved for those server objects. Our next key learning involved Atrium CMDB upgrade, where this environment was integrated with BEMSIM application, which is used for event monitoring. So BMC Remedy was integrated with BEMSIM, and the workflows that are created in the developer in the Remedy instance involved the SIM filters, which had to be disabled before the upgrade was performed. So if you have integrations with SIM, then you need to disable the filters which are with the prefix SIM, and this will process the upgrade seamlessly to Remedy 9. So these were our key learnings for various diverse platforms and versions that we performed, and with the power of Remedy 9, we were able to achieve these upgrades effectively and in a very less time. So our next slides will show the statistics and the data that were created as a part of the report of the upgrade process, where with Remedy 9, the reconciliation time involved for our case study, for our first case study, which was a platform upgrade, was 2 days. It is a comparison to understand the manual process which was adopted in the earlier releases, where it would have taken 6 weeks. So this is a drastic difference with the Remedy 9, and the beauty of the platform that it is enabling this upgrade process so effectively. So for our second case study, the statistics talk about the numbers. We were able to achieve the reconciliation within a day. And likewise for our fourth case study, which had a high volume of customization, we were able to achieve within 5 hours. So if you see, the statistics are differentiated with the volume of customization and reconciliation objects such as forms and fields and web services and menus. So considering all these components, the effectiveness has improved drastically with the Remedy 9 release. Let's move on to our next slide, where we talk more about Remedy 9, and it is now smart, it is beautiful, it is powerful, and it provides a service management that empowers the digital workforce with an intuitive self-service and your service desk being in your pocket. So it provides you with in-app analytics and insightful analytics, where it is a persona-based and gives a user experience. So it is simple to use and quick to learn, and it has a context-aware and location-aware features which involve embedded ITIL, and it provides 90 plus out-of-the-box KPIs and reports for smart reporting, and it's fully mobile, and it does support the iOS, Android, and HTML files for the browser access. It is also social and collaborative, where you can tag, follow, like, share. You can chat with your team members. So there are features of Remedy 9, a huge list of features, and the ability of Remedy 9, where you can have forums and discussions and storyboards being created. With a few clicks, you can generate smart reports, which was never easy, and it required the developer's knowledge to obtain these type of reports. With Remedy 9 platform and the ITSM and smart reporting, it does engage more audiences and helps you perform and increase the productivity by 75%. So not only reporting, but it has overall productivity to the organization, where it just keeps getting better and better with Remedy 9. You can see the operational challenges being met and the detailed analytics that it provides for solutioning and decision making. So BMC once again has proven itself to be a thoughtful leader in ITSM industry, and it has the modern platform that gives you the most scalable service management solution to which to build your business. It is completely different from the rest of the industry. So we say that Remedy 9 is a revolution to the IT service management industry with the power that it has introduced to the platform, and now it is able to engage your other tools in a heterogeneous environment and interact seamlessly within the service management area. With this, we'll move on to our next section, which is a question and answer section, and we'll try to answer the questions through this webinar.
Great. Thank you, Vishal. That was really informative of your experience with Remedy 9 and all the lessons that you've learned during the 4 upgrades that you've done. Appreciate the information. I have a few questions that I wanted to ask. I'll start with the first one. Was FTS being used prior to the upgrade? And if so, what was the size of the FTS index directories?
So yes, we had FTS, which was for the earlier platforms, and then the size that was for the FTS directories, it was around 5 GB and 12 GB. So we were able to do the upgrade for those directories and the platform as well.
Great, that's awesome. And for those 2 upgrades, it's interesting because the Remedy 9 installer now automatically converts and upgrades those FTS indexes. So that's nice to see that it did it smoothly and without event. Thank you. And my next question is, the case studies had different database sizes, and it looks like there were different number of users. So the question is, how long did the smart reporting onboarding take for those different scenarios?
So specifically for our 2 case studies, it was our observation that for reporting onboarding, it took around 5 to 10 minutes for smart reporting, 1 tenant. But ideally, the ratio is 1,000 users can be onboarded in 1 minute. So that's the ratio and proportion and the speed that the platform is providing with Remedy 9.
Wow, thank you. That's a great data point. Thanks. My next question is, when you were reconciling the customizations, was this done by a single resource, or were there several resources doing the reconciliation? And if there were several resources, do you have any tips on how they work together to avoid any conflicts while they were doing this reconciliation of customizations?
Sure. So we were performing these upgrades with different teams, and for each case study that we implemented, we had one resource for reconciliation. But if there are multiple resources, then you can adopt the approach where post-reconciliation, it generates a report. Based on this report, the task, they can be divided between a team of developers. For example, if there are 10 forms which require reconciliation, then these 10 forms can be divided if you have a team size of 5 developers, and these developers will then reserve the forms by using the Developer Studio reservation functionality. So likewise, once the forms are reconciled, then you can move on to the next workflow objects, such as filters or active link guides which need reconciliation, and it can be divided within the team of developers. So if someone has to reconcile an object, then the object will be marked as reconciled. It needs to be refreshed in the reconciliation list, and in this way we can add more developers, and it can be a faster process of upgrading the platform and the ITSM suite.
Great, thank you. My next question, and it's around upgrade, and we know that proper planning is really important for ensuring a good upgrade, but what pre-upgrade planning work should be done so we can ensure that smooth upgrade?
So BMC has provided the intuitive interactive tool which really is helping the upgrade process to a great extent. While the teams are busy performing various activities in the project of upgrade, the intuitive tool helps you to check, to understand the checkpoints, the milestones that we are going through, and the very first section of the intuitive tool talks about the pre-checks that you need to perform for an upgrade, which involves the hardware and the software availability check. So definitely this check should be performed as a activity, and then the broadcast should be done for freezing any development activity or any development coding onto your production server. So a freeze needs to be broadcast development activity, and one of the major and important activity prior to the upgrade is to run the pre-checker utility, which is now enhanced and carries a lot of features and brings value to the upgrade process to a great extent. This helps to check and identify some of the points which may cause issues during the upgrade process and which might affect the upgrades. So also the BMC documentation where there are detailed steps mentioned for the pre and the post upgrade activities which needs to be performed should be considered as a planning set of activities.
Great, thank you. My last question that I have is just around hardware. You know, were there any hardware upgrades needed or done to run Remedy 9 in these case studies?
To replicate the case study environment, we did use the hardware as per BMC recommendations. But yes, it is required to check the hardware before you plan for an upgrade. For example, it could be the hardware which the organization or the customer may want to upgrade. So the upgrade process itself is giving you a platform to upgrade your hardware to a better hardware, and definitely BMC compatibility matrix guides you and walks you through for the recommended hardware and the software requirements for your latest Remedy 9 version.
Wanted to thank you for that information. I think that this practical knowledge with Remedy 9 upgrades and the lessons learned has provided valuable input. And I thank Vyom Labs for their participation. And this will conclude the coffee break webinar today. Thank you.
Now and forever, we bring IT to life.